February 26th, and that's checking us out on CastBox.
And now we proceed with our metal invocation. We call it a metal on high, whose thunderous double bass crashes and squealing riffs never lie, burning disbelievers into ashes. From frozen Nordic winds to Florida's golden coasts, shrieking harmonic guitar bends and the screams of tortured ghosts. Dimebag and Dio, King Diamond and Devin Townsend, we call them hero and talk of them without end. Van Halen, not Van Hagar, and Rob Halford, Ozzy and Mike Patton. Their songs lift us up when we are low or bored. Their sun and orange amps at 11 will each one of us flatten. Friends gather at shows to circle and rule the pit, whether to see Behemoth and Nergal or Gene Hoglan bring death on his drum kit. Renewing energy glows from these songs, black, death, power, gent, and prog. Laughs ring and smoke rises from bongs, where long hairs bang heads in a fog. Metal is the best, we call on its power. This is no test, it is simply the Non-Judge-Metal Hour.
Episode 33.
Thanks for checking out Non-Judge-Metal.
Now you gotta buy a Porkchop. Now you gotta buy a Porkchop. Now you gotta buy a Porkchop.
Hey, Angry Gordon, we were just talking shit about you.
Oh, man.
Yeah?
Fucking not me.
Yeah, we were. You better say hey to the Non-Judge-Metal listeners. You're on the show.
Oh, man, you caught me watching the news and smoking bowls.
How's that different any other time?
Been caught.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You watching the news on TV is the old Facebook now.
All that fake news media.
I'm watching the news on TV for the first time probably ever.
It's all fake.
What channel, if you don't mind me asking, Gord?
I don't know.
HLN?
You watching local?
NBC?
Yeah, local.
He's watching local.
ABC?
He's watching porn.
No, it's the
It's
news.
some sort of Florida channel. My Network TV.
What are they talking about?
NGX.
What's the news?
School shootings.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, I figured. How's the Floridian correspondent dealing with the happenings on February 13th, I believe was the date that it happened. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, 17 minutes.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's the only thing you hear about down there.
Right.
Yeah.
When are y'all going to change y'all's gun laws? Because it shouldn't be as easy.
I don't think he cares, man. He hates Florida. He wants out.
You can't get out. It's a hole. It's a trap. It's too nice. It's almost like California, but it's on the East Coast. Like, how is this?
Ask it. Hey, you know what? Let's segue out of that because let's ask Angry. Angry, what's your opinion on Florida?
Well, I don't like it.
Just being warm all the time, and they're just being
I
nice
don't really know what else to say about it other than, like,
Spanish women,
I don't like living here.
crazy Cubans.
There's just a lot of old military people. Not that I have anything against them. It's just,
They just vote hardcore right.
yeah, I don't know. No one's outside. There's no one walking on the streets, like in the neighborhoods. There's no one riding bicycles. There's no one cooking out. Everybody's in their house watching Matlock or whatever the
I will say, it does sound pretty goddamn awful.
Yeah.
Since we got you on here, though, man, what about the metal? What's going on with that this week? How's the world of Angry Gordon metal been?
Man, I found out this band called Hell. You ever heard of Hell?
Hell?
Why don't you spell that out for me?
H-E-double-L.
H-E double hockey sticks?
Ooh.
Double hockey stick.
I don't know if I want to try that out, man. Might be scary.
Oh, man, they're great. It's, I guess it's kind of like maybe it's a gimmick, but
What kind of
they're
gimmick?
incredible. It's like a power metal.
Power ballad metal?
No, I don't know how to describe it. Just power metal, like
H-E double hockey stick, like
H-E double hockey stick.
like Metal Church?
Yeah, maybe. I've heard of Metal Church, but never heard them.
Halloween?
A band I need to check out.
Halloween?
Never listened to them. I have a friend that listens to all
That's
these
too
bands.
much.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to make fun of them all the time.
But now you can't, dude. You
yeah.
gotta be non-judgmental now. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Who are we
Oh,
talking
Captain
about?
Dirt.
Yeah, Captain Dirt. Oh, Captain Dirt. Yeah, Captain Dirt used to love that fucking 80s shit, man. Halloween and Warlord and all that fucking shit, dude.
Like I said, if
How do you
Overkill
listen to this shit?
was Overkill
And now I'm
back
just like, I
then,
can't get enough of it.
Huh?
I can't get enough of that shit now.
I know, dude. It's fucking killer, man. We got some new shit that I'll definitely send to you. We've been checking out this week. Feed the Rhino, Letters from the Colony. There's some good shit out there, so I'll definitely be passing that along to you. Fuck yeah, man. I wanted to get you on here because I had to, I got to seed something to you. We failed the triple dog dare for the Porkchop challenge and did not get to go see Born of Osiris, so we're on your level
Yeah.
now.
So I was gonna ask you about that, and did we make a bet or something?
Yeah, Vitamin Nick's got to smack me with a pork chop.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Now, we did halfway complete the dare in a way because our
Would you
non-judgmental
just
buddy...
think about it?
No, our non-judgmental buddy Scott, since we couldn't attend, he took the blow for us and he went to the show and he'll be on in the future with notes about it.
Yeah, I seen. I was the only one watching his video.
We missed a show. Was the whole
We
point.
did.
We fucked up. Next month is Necrogoblicon and Rings of Saturn now, so yeah, you need to.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it to that. That's it's kind of far for me. I gotta go to Atlanta.
You got to go to Atlanta to see it in your area?
That's the closest I got, and it's 5-6 hours.
Yeah. I only have to go not too far down the road, so this might be one that I get to catch that you missed.
Well,
Oh, how the table
we'll see about that.
What you got going there? A little judgmental burn?
This is the Judy snag. What the fuck is judgemetal? Because I heard the Attila call out too. Like,
I haven't
they
listened to
released
it
that.
yet. I caught
Alright.
some of the drama on.
Here's the thing. What if it's kind of hot doggy? What if it's kind of Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit hot doggy? No bullshit. I fucking love it.
Was it good? I haven't heard it yet.
I know you're gonna shit all over it, but
I don't want to. Like, the thing is, like, I still have somewhat of a high opinion of Attila. Like,
no, not after this. I guarantee you're gonna be like, that is trash. Like, fart.
I read the lyrics because it shows him in that article where
Sounds
him and
good
the
enough.
singer for Amur are having, like, beef because of it and shit.
Fuck him. I love him more.
Yeah, I'll put it out like this. I'm seeing him here in a few months. I'm not seeing Attila, most likely.
No, they canceled the deal with the record contract and shit. They're going completely independent now, so you can't.
Attila?
Yeah,
They have their own.
yeah.
That Spite that we like on here that we
Yeah.
talk about Angry, they're signed to Stay Sick Recordings.
Get ready.
I have nothing bad to say about Franz. The dude's made an empire out of in this small little corner of the world. He's killing it.
How many people got the balls to go up there and tell you straight up who they fucking hate and fuck and fuck with and don't fuck with?
People who were really good at marketing and selling a concept.
How many people didn't know about Martin Scarelli? Just because they were in the metal and shit and they're working day to day and shit, and then they
Oh,
hear
the
that.
super villain, the Wu-Tang villain?
Yeah.
Dude, that guy's great, man. Like,
Did you see that in the lyrics?
Yes, I read everything about it. Did you see what we're talking about there?
Call Out Part 2.
All right, so it's a new Attila track.
Dude, like, it's 2 minutes. You had 2 minutes to spare at any point in time today.
I was too busy listening to this Letters to the Colony. I was too busy listening to this Letters to the Colony,
What the
man.
fuck is my problem though? Because I go back to the Quiet Kind, and like I fucking love that.
Because you get stuck on things and you
God
need to
damn
stop.
it! Like I don't even know what's wrong
Letters
with me
from the
anymore.
Colony. Sorry about that.
Right.
Letters from
It's
the Colony.
fucking super genty and super just.
That
goddamn
opening
original,
track,
yeah.
Galax, man. I've listened to it for the second time on the way here. I actually passed it on to her to let her check that out.
Right.
I think that I fucking dig. I dig every moment of it, man. Yeah, I'm a prog metal guy, so
Right.
hearing those slow parts, it reminds me of the Faceless, but not death metal-y, more genty. You know, more groove. more groove to it, more gent. You know, like the Faceless kind of has that death metal thing mixed with that prog sound, and like the cleans. Like this is the same way, but it's got that gent, more groove metal style to it, and I think it works fucking beautiful. I'm definitely going to be catching what these guys got to offer in the future for sure. Definitely recommend checking that out. Letters from the Colony. Vignettes, the album. Definitely. Opening track, Galax. So far, I didn't get to listen to all of them and pay attention to what song was which. I listened to it straight through at work today. And I can say I didn't skip a single thing. I thought everything was
That's a great fucking sign right there.
Yeah,
bro.
I'll be learning the tracks of this album so I can,
seriously,
know more about it.
fans and even Wendy, like, if you know of an album, like, when you first put it in, like, you didn't skip one song to it because you were like, what was the first album? I guess it was Alive or Just Breathing, I think, where I was like, holy fuck, I don't skip any song.
There were a couple of times coming up into metal when I was in my early 20s that, like, I felt when I listened to an entire album, like, somebody would be like, knowing I was just getting into metal, and they'd be like, they would give me one of their favorite CDs. They'd be like, listen to this shit, check it out, let me know what you think. I'd listen to it all the way through, and they'd be like in the next room, so they wouldn't like come in and fuck with me to influence, that hour of just me getting into it.
Right.
But then at the end of the hour, they'd be like, so what did you think? And I would, in the beginning of this, I felt bad because like I sunk into it so intensely that I almost had like nothing to say. And I think it came off in a way that it was like, Wendy's not even paying attention. But it was just the opposite. It was so intense that I had to like almost listen to it 3 or 4 times just to be able to talk about things specifically that I liked so much because I just took all of it in so largely the very first time around. I had to learn, that wasn't a bad thing.
Was it Megadeth or something like that? Like, what was the first experience with it, I guess what I'm trying to say. Like, because I said Alive or Just Breathing. Looking back at it, though, forgive me, it was actually Unearth, if I remember correctly.
Oncoming Storm?
No, believe it or not, it was Headbangers Ball. And Giles came on. It was when Headbangers Ball came back for a short minute in 2004, it was the live video on my TV station of Giles. And I think it was me and Leo sitting over at my place on Kessler. And like we just heard that digga 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 crushed by the fear. And like we knew the game changed and like metal has went super heavy and I think we need to get another string on our guitar, bro. Because they're both playing 7 strings, and we got the V, but there's only 6 on here, and it's heavy as fuck, but
to be honest, I really think that band, though, was just getting... I'm a broken record. It was Suicide Silence.
Yeah, that was the one that... Yeah.
That was just so big for me, like 19 and 20, that age range where I was 19 and 20 years old, that was just big they were really big for me. I listened to 2 or 3 of their albums, and ones that they had put up before, and then I was following up. So right when I became a fan is when they came out with their one from 07.
Oh, I can tell you which one it was for me myself, yeah. You always remember
Cowboys of Steel or Cowboys from Hell or some shit is what I'm guessing. No.
You're extremely close to you're in the correct range for the band. Vulgar Display.
Sorry.
Vulgar Display, man. The record with the
pretty
glorious
close,
punch right on the fucking cover, man. Just like that album to me as a young adolescent boy, growing up, man, it was so hard and heavy. Like after today, when I was on the way over here, I heard Pantera in the car on it was on Liquid Metal, and then right after it was on Ozzy's Boneyard. Like literally, it played Walk and then right into This Love, and on 2 separate stations, and I was like, dude, I immediately went to the phone and just started grabbing tracks, and but I first went to Vulgar. I went to Vulgar first, man. I do every time, man. A New Level, Regular People, Rise, dude, it's a great record. Hollow.
Right.
Oh, man.
I was going to say, as good as those 2 songs were, like, what were still, like, your top 3 on the album itself, because I think...
Fucking Hostile, just because it's so intense of a song, and I've seen it live, the multiple times I've seen it live, it has something so different about it. That one's completely excellent. And then, I would say that probably Rise, and then for sure Hollow. Hollow is my favorite song on that record. It may be my top Pantera song. Like, I just love every bit of it. Like the melody in the beginning, the how it hits at the end.
Right.
Yeah, it's fucking perfect, man. It's a perfect metal song.
Like, I love Pantera, and as much as I wish I would have been able to see them, I'm just happy. I think Lamb of God, after doing Redneck in tribute almost to Dimebag's style of playing and shit, like I can't wait because I think that in June when they come to Virginia, either Bristow or Virginia Beach, I need to catch a ride with somebody if they're going. Because
you need to snag a ticket now,
right,
man, to that Bristow one, and you can ride with us.
So
you got to ride with
Bristow.
us.
Okay.
A buddy of mine bought 3 tickets and gave us 2 because he just couldn't fathom going by himself.
He
Get
didn't
one.
give us 2. We bought ours.
Well, we bought 2, but he pre-bought them for us because we weren't going to be able to at the moment they went on
And he's
sale.
metal as fuck.
Yeah, our metal friend Bubba.
Right.
He's
And
metal friends with Leo, with everybody.
I think he's non-judgmental too.
He's very non-judgmental.
Right. And
He's very not. Bubba is. He's like me, man. Me and him get along so well about this, and he loves taking me to shows with him because he appreciates the old school metal. He appreciates the old school hard rock. He appreciates the new wave of metal.
Right.
He appreciates British thrash. You know, it doesn't matter. Like if it's metal, if it's got that hit, it's got that bass, it's got that pound, that fucking. You feel it in your bones, man. He's down with it. Me and him get along a lot at that scale.
Right.
Like I said, non-judgmental, and I think that in order to be non-judgmental, you think you'd be down with like something called this new post-hardcore. I've seen this genre like mentioned a lot, and I don't really understand it. But when you come back, you're gonna tell me what post-hardcore means to you. Because
I don't even know if I can, man. Like,
really,
like
have
I've
y'all heard
listened.
this term before?
Yes, I've plenty of
Post-hardcore.
times, and I try to listen to a lot of the bands, and some of them have a lot of metal to it, but some of it won't be very. It won't sound very metal to me at all.
Right.
And I think that that's a very loose genre term for bands that have the potential to have that, you know, kind of chug and that heaviness to them. But there's a lot of melody in this.
When we come back.
When we come back,
Somebody.
the Non-Judgemetal 33.
Motherfucking contrarian. This is the non-judgmental. Fucking metal that you listen, share, like, all that if you enjoy. If not, eat a dick.
Why not? If they didn't enjoy it,
I don't want them. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that shit?
Post-hardcore, it gives you, listen, a genre of music formed when people in the hardcore scene got tired of hardcore's limited form. Retains most of the characteristics of hardcore, but builds more on the tension and release. Fugazi, Quicksand, and Jawbox are really good post-hardcore bands. The Used is not post-hardcore. It's pop-punk trying to be scary. Post-hardcore, a style of underground music that evolved from combinations of different genres. It combines elements of punk and hardcore metal, and also refer to bands that are post-hardcore as emo-core. Many consider post-hardcore to be heavier and less mainstream than emo-core. That actually makes sense of it. It's a less
really
mainstream
does.
version of emo-core. Like it's not that screamo metal, but it's like
It's
a
not
heavier.
Hawthorne Heights. It's a good Atreyu.
There you go.
Is that a good analogy?
That's a good analogy.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so we
Damn
got
it, that was
We
a
got
really good definition for it then. If it went straight to that, so that's what post-hardcore is.
Yeah, that's what I would. That's what I would think
man.
it is, like a
I added
non-mainstream
metal to it.
version of emo-core. That's a little bit heavier and combines elements of punk and hardcore metal.
Here's the thing, I
Kind of
like.
like Veilmaya.
No, there's
No,
Jen.
there's that.
There's Jen.
I like certain elements of Hawthorne Heights, and I fucking hated other elements of it. So, like, I don't know, judge me, judge metal, and shit.
No, you're
but-
cool, man. Everybody likes what they like, man.
Right.
Like I like some of those bands with those whiny vocals. Like what's that one I really like a whole lot, man? I got them on my phone. Oh God.
So we still have
Like a Moth to Flames. I like them a whole lot. I like that guy's voice. Like I know a lot of people aren't, you know, like hardcore metal fans might not dig that kind of shit. But I mean, you know, like I like a little bit of everything, man. Like I try to keep myself as non-judgmental and open as I can. Speaking of not being judgmental and not trying to go too far with saying something that's ridiculous. They just start throwing darts at words.
After watching the making of Sacrament,
Yeah.
they just live metal. They fucking do that shit day to day, and they fucking put the words into it. And watching Randy go through like writer's block and all that
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
like, it's fucking crazy. And then knowing what comes out of that album and how much that moved me, like I don't know, I can't wait to go see him.
My concert, the album I wrote with the first band that I actually played a full. We actually wrote and recorded most of a full record. Like some of them were independent recordings, but like all the songs I wrote were geared toward a single narrative, and I named it based off of that. And I would go through and I would name. We had a song called
Sinnesloschen. It was it's a German word. It was for but the whole point was like I went up and looked up all these details when I was writing that stuff.
You
so
felt
I
like
kind
an
of
author almost. Like you need to write like not a novel, but definitely a good short story. It's going to take somebody 30 minutes from them and like tell them something, and it's all got to. Did it all have to kind of go together?
At times I felt like it did. Like sometimes you have to kind of like let go, and like sometimes like you can't always connect. Everything can't always be connected. But I figured out a way to keep like what I felt was my story going with transitions or ends of segments.
Each within. So
well, I tried to write it like
one,
we had like 11 songs
like
total. We had like 11, 12 songs total. It was
before you even made the name or the did you have a concept before you even started making the 11?
When
like,
I started
what came first?
When I started playing with them, they had like 7 or 8 songs wrote.
Right, so they
with
already had
instrumental. And I went in and I would listen to them, and I'd listen to them religiously day in and day out. And I would sit there with the notebook, and I would go over again, and I would I'd piece together in my head, and I'd write and I'd write and I'd write. And when I started it, like the first song I wrote on it, I ended up canceling that one and redoing it because when I wrote it, I was like, this doesn't have any heart. Like I'm just trying to write what I think sounds cool. And then I went through and actually tried to piece together like my feelings and what I was going through at that time in my life, and the single narrative, like into like a single goal on how I wanted like this kind of story to end.
Right.
And it worked. Like it worked. I had I felt that I created some of my best stuff at that time. So I mean I can't complain.
I think that's ideal for like a new and upcoming artist to like have some band that's already got like 7 rhythms ready for you and shit. Ever since American Satan, I can't help it.
Do you hear that whistling, guys?
What is that?
Did you hear that shit? I think that's the metal minute call.
Yeah?
You guys? I think that's Wendy's metal minute call.
Oh, here comes little Wendy stirring the pot. She wants to fucking know, is it metal or not? This week on NonjudgeMetal, we want to know, is it metal?
Or is it rock?
Or is it something else?
You ready, guys?
Yeah.
What is
First
it?
topic. This is to debate between you two. Ready? Motorhead.
Yeah, Motorhead's definitely metal. It's metal.
The Ace of Spades, the Ace of Spades. Like I don't give a fuck who you are. If you don't get riled up when you hear that song, hey, get your blood checked for real because you got some artery issues and shit. And like I love you to death, but at the same time, like every time I hear the Ace of Spades,
Oh yeah,
am I
you
crazy?
dude, you get pumped up, dude.
You get that like it's almost like Black Betty. Oh, Black Betty. Like I feel the same about both songs, and maybe even the Bird is a Word.
Dude, Motorhead, he up until like 3 weeks before his death,
Rest in peace.
he played fucking metal shows live
Throwing horns.
with terminal illness, man.
Day to
he
day.
threw down. He go out there. He is.
How dare you call that rock? Seriously, you
No, I
rest
didn't
in
call
never
it
piss.
called.
rock.
She
No.
asked.
Anybody that did,
Okay.
rest in piss when you do.
Rest
Okay,
in
forgive
piss.
me.
If you think Motorhead's not metal, rest in piss.
Is who?
Motorhead.
Motorhead?
Yeah, are they metal?
Yeah, what?
I fucking metal.
The first metal. All right, metal minute. Exactly. Not
Yeah.
supposed to be an intense debate. It's just the 1 minute. So that was the first one.
That was good. That was good. I like it. Yeah,
For
sure.
sure. Alright.
Yeah, Motorhead's fucking metal shit. So there is a band out there called Taake, and
Taake or
T-
Takke?
Taake. That's what
Okay.
I think it's Taake or Taake.
So it's like take with an extra X.
Yeah, that's essentially it.
Guess it.
But yeah, they're a Norwegian black metal band.
Okay.
They've been around since '93. They have an extensive career. And as me and him discussed actually earlier when we were talking about this, a lot of these bands you might not ever heard of or be into, but somebody is. And these European bands from the other side of the world here, like their fame over there is paramount to what we see here. You know, like we're walking around and going like Lamb of God, that's an international act. Well, to them, that's what this is. You know, these guys are traveling worldwide. And they're on a U.S. tour, and their New York City show just got canceled. Pressure from local Antifa groups. And
to note, like, in even the Metal Injection articles, that, you know, like, the Antifa group is not a single organized, you know, group of people.
It's like New York City Antifa group on Twitter.
It's a term for anti-fascist. And, And, you know, some people have been... Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what that deserves. I don't have the fart gun. That was straight
They've been known
up.
to use extreme measures. So about 10 years ago, the singer for Taake was in Germany.
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Germany.
Was in Germany playing a show.
Somebody.
And during that show, he trolled the audience. He drew a swastika on his chest.
Okay.
And the Antifa people have dug up this image and claimed that it's spreading Nazi ideology, and now venues are canceling the show in the U.S. for a 10-year-old one-time event. That the singer came out immediately after it. This is what he said, and I'll agree he didn't use the best language here because they're a band that doesn't like anyone. Like, he's not, like, this is a guy who isn't, he's not saying the N-word, but what he's saying is, like, I don't like Muslims, I don't like Jews, I don't like Christians,
what did he say?
I don't like
What
anyone.
did he say? Yeah.
When it originally happened, he said, Taake's not a political Nazi band. Everyone should know now that our whole concept is built on provocation and anything evil. We apologize to anyone who might get problems because of the swastika scandal. And then he said, except for the club, the Untermesh owner of that club, you can go suck a Muslim. That was 10 years ago. And they even mentioned here in the article, they were like, certainly, it wasn't said in a hateful way then because to them, they're like, fuck you, we don't like anyone. There's no one singled out here. But then this was brought again. He come back and said this time, I've clearly explained many times throughout the years that me wearing a swastika once at a German concert was not all meant to show support for Nazi ideology. It was about doing something extreme for the sake of it, which has certainly backfired. But it has been 11 years since, and the band has now performed in countries such as Israel.
Israel.
Similar incidents have not happened in Taake's 25-year career and will obviously not happen again, but certain parties seem to find this cold case unforgivable, insisting willful misunderstandings. So once and for all, we are not a racist band, never has been, never will be. Still claiming so is as ridiculous and unfounded as are the attempts to sabotage our highly anticipated
If you
U.S. show.
live in a time period, which is now, where things can be proven and you did it once for 2 fucking seconds and oh, you didn't mean it and blah, 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 and it was 11 years ago and 6 weeks and 4 days and 2 hours and who's counting? You still did it. You still need to face the repercussions of what you did. People make mistakes and they're stupid and you didn't mean it. But guess what? You still did it. And this is the land of Snowflake. And you can't expect people to not get offended about something and dig up everything that you did wrong 40 fucking years ago and make a big deal about it. This is just 20,000. Is just 2018. You just expect it. And if you seriously expect to get off scotch-free for something that you did even that one time, even though you didn't mean it, that's kind of foolish. Just deal with your,
Well,
let it blow over. This will not last forever.
Will it? Here's the problem I have with this.
1 second, though. I'm saying, because I feel like the whole problem with it is, like, I'm blaming the venue, for the record. Like, who are you blaming? You're blaming the band, saying you shouldn't have did that, or you blaming...
Is it one venue or many venues?
Multiple ones. Now others are
then
starting to follow suit.
It's not a venue that you're blaming then. It's
I
all
said
the
venues.
venues.
It's all on the tape.
Well, hold on. Before we go any further,
okay.
Before we get into this...
Well, I'm blaming the band.
Before we get deep into
you can't
this...
expect to do something that may offend somebody and then complain when it offended somebody.
What if they're doing a Scott Stapp saying that you're a racist or whatever, and then they get kicked out of the fucking venue because they're acting like a fucking shithead?
If they do something that could
let me finish.
Hold
on. You gotta let somebody finish.
Hold on. Let me bring up another.
Let him finish.
No.
We're in the middle of something.
I can't finish because you stop me, and I'm trying to listen because I'm listening to what you're saying because we're having a conversation and shit. But at the same time, like if somebody's getting kicked out of a venue and shit, and he's trying to fucking throw the thing high and shit, and you just go so happen to get a picture of it and shit. Like, if he can explain it 10 years down the road, like, you weren't there. It's one thing to question evolution. It's quite another to question a venue, 129 fucking people in the fucking audience and whatnot, and one person had a fucking camera in fucking 2008. And I'm saying forgive shit before 2010. 2010, I think that's when everybody was like, all right, we need to fucking start acting right on the internet, because before then, it was the wild, wild
I don't think
west.
you can put a date on it. I don't
I'm not
think you can
saying
put a date on it.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying you can't expect people not to do that.
No, but see, that's not what we're sorry. I agree with you there. I agree with you. You cannot expect people
That's
to not
all.
get offended.
I'm not saying that you were wrong in doing it. I'm just saying you can't expect
People
not
or
to.
just organizations?
Let's hear what the venue said.
People.
Let's hear what the venue said. Note that the talk show scheduled for March 24th has been canceled. We're providing full refunds, and you can contact this, blah, 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 with any questions to get those refunds. We reached out to LPR, and the venue's marketing director gave us a statement that reads, "It is our mission to create a safe space for everyone in our community, and this show does not meet that standard." So what my argument is, for a band that's done something over a decade ago, and that moved on, and I'm not a fan of talk. Just for the record, I've made it clear I'm not a big fan of black metal. So I'm not trying to be biased here, but my argument is, and I'll make that point in a second to both of you, is that they made a mistake 10 years ago. They admitted that mistake. It was over with. They've had a 10-year career since. Now, because of pressures from a handful of people, they're being told that there might not be a safe group
You
to
gotta
play.
call those people out. I'm so
That's
tired
fine.
of this shit. That's like almost like saying the big government. and
Well,
shit.
Antifa.
Like,
It's the Antifa group. It's,
Right.
it's
What's your
specific
problem? I
members
don't
of it.
New
understand
York
what your issue is.
Antifa.
My problem is-
New York
Got your issue.
Antifa has 22,000 people that follow them apparently, and they retweet every goddamn thing that these people think, and then venues fucking see the fact that, wait a minute, there was fucking 2,600 fucking retweets on this one chick saying that you shouldn't have these people because they had a swastika on stage
right.
or whatever. It's fucking bullshit. It's Twitter being able to manipulate the free market
That's
of
my
venues
problem.
and shit.
That's my problem. Because listen, here's my immediate thought process on this, and it's not about this band in particular. This event takes place 11 years ago. This group obviously has a problem with it. Why is this an issue?
Wait, so are you mad at Twitter?
I'm not mad at-
So lost.
Let me finish. The problem with it is
venues
venues being pressured over political stances of these groups over issues. Now, if this band would have done this 2 weeks ago, I get that. That's a fucking hot issue right now.
Definitely.
That's a stupid move.
Without a doubt, McGruff.
That's a stupid move. What I'm saying is, where does this stop? Where does this stop? If they pull all the shows from this band, does it discourage other bands from Europe who have made a bad joke or something in public in the past 20 years from coming over here? This offended someone in this political group so much that they went and dug an 11-year-old German photo up from a show that does not affect our country
at all.
From a band that, if you read their lyrics and stance, is clearly
Do you want
not
my
a Nazi.
answer?
Yeah,
There is
of
no
course.
line.
But it's clearly-
There is no line.
That's the problem. Like,
For as long as that band has been in existence, you're going to be able to find something about them.
all right, exactly. Any band, though.
Period.
Any band. That's what I'm saying. So,
So
my
why does
argument
that
is,
rile you up?
because what does it do to our music scene? All right, so let's say I like that band Ginger. I'm real big on them.
Wait, hold on. So you're riled up because we're holding them accountable for their actions, even though if it was actions from 20 years
We're not
ago.
holding accountable actions. Anyone who thinks that guy's a Nazi from paying attention to it
They're
and
not
thinks
gonna
that you
go.
should be offended is a fucking
that's
idiot.
not what I said.
I'm not
I said
saying
he's
that.
accountable for his actions.
And he is, and he
meaning
took
may
responsibility
have
for them. That's
offended
not the
someone.
argument I'm making. My argument is that, so, all right, I like all these European bands that I'm big on. What if I don't get a chance to see them now? Because now these groups are going to be scared to come over here because one of them said the word nigger 10 years ago. I just said it on a show. If someone
my
brings that up, I
God!
could lose my job.
The whole show's
Now I'm a
over with.
racist.
You
Now
better
I'm
go
a
to break.
racist.
Go
That's
to-
my point. If someone from a Ukraine band cracks a bad joke 5 years ago, and
On a
someone
stand-up comedy skit
and
or some
someone gets
shit.
it on video, and these little assholes go around digging up this shit and post it like it's hate speech, they're diminishing hate speech.
Okay,
Do you
then
get
at
it?
what point are they allowed to post things that are over the line? Are you saying that we have to like pass it off to some court of judgment to say whether or not it's
No.
out of line?
No, I guess my opinion is on society. Are we that sensitive now?
Yeah.
That we
that's
literally,
not
that
new.
venues owners are
This is
foregoing
old.
money. Venue owners are foregoing money and
Yeah,
finances.
there's a term for it. It's called snowflakes. It's been around for years. That's
Okay,
what I'm trying
it's
to
not
say,
just
is that
about them, though.
We've been in a world full of snowflakes for a very long time. So
World.
at this point, you can't expect a snowflake to not
World.
react to something like that.
I do expect them to react. I expect other people to react wisely and not think that it's okay for this shit to happen. It's not okay for artists to get canceled. We just all said that we don't think the decapitated thing. We were upset that someone's accusations for something that may or not happen. This is something we've discussed on the
Seriously,
show.
I was fucking pissed off about it.
That
It's not fair. She should get
hurt
thrown
their
in
financial.
prison.
It hurt their financial.
Millions of dollars.
They're not asking. These people aren't asking to not spread hate speech, but this group can't
Don't even
distinguish.
let them.
They look at somebody doing that once and they go, "That's automatic hate speech. There's no
You're
way that's
outta
a troll.
here.
There's no way that's a joke." My
Strike
argument
one.
is, if you have to look at artists performing an art piece and doing something extreme during an art piece, and it makes you have to stop what you're doing and try to cancel that, at that point you're not being a political motivator. You're being an asshole. There's no way, with all the issues in the world right now, an 11-year-old joke that was clear. 11 years ago, that singer did not know about Antifa and did not know this would happen. So there's no way he could have planned this out. And right afterwards, he was even like, and they got in no trouble because they were in Germany doing it. No trouble with their career after this. They said, "Oh, yeah, to anyone we offended, sorry. It was a joke. It was an extreme piece. I was in Germany. I was riling a crowd up. I did it." Professional wrestlers.
I don't think it was a bad thing. It wasn't taken seriously. I agree with that.
All right. That being said, now it's hurting their financial system, their financials. That's fine. If you want to be accountable, be accountable. But it's hurting their financials. An 11-year-old joke is getting shows canceled nationwide. That's a big deal because that discourages other artists to come over to our sensitive country. It hurts our music scene. It hurts the shows. It hurts the tours. It hurts the festivals. And it can ultimately hurt the money in the economy of those regions that rely on those. It has a trickle-down effect. A group of people who don't want hate speech, which I agree with, hate speech is bad, are picking and choosing what they want. It is not important enough for them to go back and go, this Swedish black metal band from a foreign land that made a crappy joke one time is such a big deal to these people, they're getting shows canceled when there's actual fucking Nazis out on the street.
So is it one venue that did this?
No,
or is it...
one venue did it, and now it's snowballing into more venues because of the hate speech thing. They're saying, well, if it's not a safe environment, we may need to relook and actually not book this band.
I thought New York was pretty liberal about that.
I thought you said it was one picture, not speech.
The picture of him, the one picture of him doing the Nazi thing is what got this brought up, right? Antifa and the venues are now saying we can't have someone promoting hate speech in our venue. And the band's going, we're not promoting hate speech. That was a joke during an art performance. And they're going, oh, it's a swastika. It's fucking, that's it. Endgame. It's endgame.
That's it.
And
my
argument is, if people are so sensitive to that shit and they're allowing groups to get tours canceled, like, I understand the passion in this argument, and I agree with all you guys on your points. My point is...
No, you don't.
It affects... Yeah, I do. I agree with you. It is... The venue has a responsibility.
I'm still waiting for you to get to your point.
Like, I just said it. It will snowball. It will snowball. If shit like this is allowed to happen and people don't stand up for the right to have an artistic performance, then other artists from other worlds aren't going to want to come here. They're not going to want to come here. They're not going to want to come to America. Just like I doubt Decapitated wants to come back anytime soon. They just fucking spent time in a jail on a false accusation, according to what the article
crazy
said.
ass bitch.
So, like, that's a band that was over here touring and making money and building their career and building our music industry, playing festivals, playing shows.
And unless Spheres of Madness,
and the less of those there are,
do you know about Spheres of Madness?
No.
Well, we talk about constantly the metal scene and how it's evolving and growing over our time.
That was the first experience with the double bass shit where I was like, wait a minute.
Right on.
This dude doesn't stop. 60 seconds.
I'll have to check that.
Turns into it.
Like I said, my point is, like, if things like this are allowed to happen and nobody actually stands up and goes, well, what the fuck, you know, like, at some point we need to, like, I get where venues come from. They have to protect themselves, but... Like, I think there needs to be a clear and present danger when it comes to these situations because...
How much power does Twitter really have?
Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, these people are tweeting things and getting shows canceled.
Twitter.
So what do you want from it? What do you want?
I don't know what I want from it, but I want to make commentary of it because nobody else is.
Such snowballs because when venues become snowballs...
Yeah. Snowflakes?
Snowflakes, but they turn into snowballs because they get in big groups together and then they start tweeting the same thing and putting a bunch of hearts behind it, and suddenly the venues start taking it serious.
Yeah,
like,
and then the venues aren't going to make any money because they're not booking any good shows.
They're not going to go to the fucking show
anyway.
anyway.
People that fucking show up and give them money, and then it's just not going to last for long.
Well, maybe. Either that or artists stop being as free with their speech as they are because they're afraid they're not going to be able to perform or make money unless they tone their act down. And that's a problem with me, too.
Mic drop.
That's you having to change your whole musical taste and your influence and your artist perspective because you might show up at a place.
Won't tour as much.
And then they won't make any money, which means they won't sell records, which means they won't be able to stay active as a group. My point, would you cancel that show?
This will not kill the music industry.
I don't think it'll kill the music industry, but metal's not a major part of the music industry. It's not. Now we're getting festivals multiple times a year. Now we're getting these shows. Now we're being able to go an hour to watch bands like Rings of Saturn. It hasn't been like this for a long time, especially for our area. Like, it's starting to grow.
Okay.
Our local area is getting a Five Finger Death Punch concert. Yes. I'm not a huge fan, but we're getting that because it's growing.
Right.
And things like this can hurt that growth, especially in the world we live in now. Like, I get what you're saying about the accountability thing, but if this is how it is, that means that those Antifa people can just go from one venue right to the next. Say, no, they canceled over here. You better do it, or now we're going to stand outside and cause problems at yours. And then now nobody wants to book this band. You know? It's like that Japanese band that we read a few months back briefly. Like, the drummer got popped for weed or something, and that's such a serious crime there, they couldn't tour.
Seriously.
So.
And that affects their pocketbook.
That's my take on it, man. I don't mean to get heated. I really want the metal community to be a place where artists can be free with their I mean, we got bands out there called Infant Annihilator. Nobody takes that shit serious. You know? You know you're not listening to actual Infant Annihilators.
Right.
Like, I want it to be a community where people have fun, and shit like this happening is not fun. That's taking away the fun.
Definitely
for what I see is no reason.
Definitely judgemetal.
It's definitely judgemetal.
Right? But this is non-judgemetal.
Powerman 5000 is coming to town. Angry's going.
Alright, I can respect that.
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
Puddle and bar.
I'm not going. I'm not going to see Puddle and Mud. Yeah, that's coming here. Yeah, isn't it terrible?
Awful. I would not go to that.
Look, I don't even know if Puddle and Mud justifies it.
Alright. HE double hockey stick, super glam. What else?
I have to look at my search history.
You know what? You're failing for a show that we randomly called you on.
I doubt. Like,
yeah.
Who would have known when we went bi-weekly? We're gonna call you, and when you call us back, you better have something. You better have something.
Just expect if it's a phone call at night that you're probably being recorded. That's how non-judgmental works.
I just thought it was McGruff calling the gripe about something.
No, bless
yeah, I'll listen to some gripes.
The king of gripes accused me of griping.
Yeah, well, now the tables have turned, right?
Mm.
But yeah, you need to check out that Silent Life. That shit's great, man.
I will.
Great.
Any shows coming your way you're going to before you jump off here?
They just announced Man 5000's coming to town. I'm going to see that.
You're going?
I'm going.
I don't know. Depending on how much it was, I might.
It's awful, but I'm going. It can't be more than, $15.
Watch it be a really bad time.
They're Power Man 5000 is opening for that. You know the band 10 Years?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a good rock band as well. I put them in the same category as old pop people.
Well, if you have fun doing it, man, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you end up having a good time, then cool, Like, that's all that really matters. Like, I mean, I'd probably go see Power Man if it was for, $10, $15. I wouldn't pay more than that.
Yeah, you better. The 15-year-old you would be so happy.
I was never huge on them. I remember hearing that first stuff when it came out, but it wasn't like my favorite stuff. So, I mean, like I said, I might go see them.
They should sell out that show. Everybody buys a ticket, and then no one shows up to really fuck them up.
That's one of the best things you heard he said.
Melvin's?
No, he said they should sell out that show, but then nobody actually show up just to fuck with them.
They wouldn't fuck with them. They'd get all the money and have to work for it.
I'm pretty sure that dude's like one bad day from like becoming the Joker. That fucking Wes Scantlin dude. That dude's always getting arrested. He's always getting fucking arrested for something, dude.
I was moved by Blurry, and you're an asshole.
Oh, fuck them. No, fuck them. I saw them live.
Blurry,
I saw them live.
I fucking love Blurry.
I saw them live, and they were a cheap rate fucking, like,
Nirvana.
they looked like a cheap rate knockoff of Nirvana, and they were bad. They were bad. They sounded bad. Their songs are bad.
You got the fucking first version. You had to get the 2.0.
Every time I hear that, like, you know, that fucking song, what's that one where he's just like talking about smack my ass and fucking,
I can't control you.
Schizophrenic psycho.
Please stop. I'm getting all this shit stuck in my head.
They're awful, man.
I'm gonna punch all of you in the big toe.
They're not.
Yeah, they're bad.
I told you guys I was going to see Die Hard is Murder, and it totally went right over your head.
Well, I didn't hear you. You're going to see that. Somebody brought up Puddle of Mud, and I got really angry. Go ahead. Die Hard is Murder. You're going to see them with dying fetus?
Yeah, and you guys are just like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Because
Cry about it some.
I just want a little bit of jealousy. I want you guys to be jealous of this one.
I am a little jealous of that one. I am a little jealous, dude. And Dying Fetus, I've seen live twice. They're fucking excellent, man. You talk about heavy.
Not for Mary, don't give a fuck.
I honestly haven't really heard them.
That the singer was on Liquid Metal a couple weeks ago during the takeover, and they were like talking about like what kind of stuff, and he was like, well, I always pretty much sing the way I do. He was like, and honestly, if I ever start singing on my records, he was like, just shoot me in the fucking head. I was like, yeah, those guys are never going to change the way they play music.
They got some awesome riffs.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking sick, dude. They're a sick death metal band. Like they're fucking one of the kings of it. Like, and they've earned their place. So I'm definitely jealous about that one. Kudos to you on the Die Hard is Murder. That sounds like a good goddamn time.
I don't know, man. You guys been listening to Rammstein?
I do. I've actually been listening quite a bit lately. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no bullshit, man. You like creative music, dude. They're still putting out shit. You like creative music videos? Watch them shits.
YouTube.
Not even bullshitting, dude. They got some of the fucking best music videos. Dude, they got one where they're all rich.
How long?
I mean, they got a bunch of them, man. I don't know. I can't tell you. You're asking me specific dates. No, but they. I know. I'm after that.
I'm making sure.
They got a song called "Kind Lust," man. I told him about it. The video for it is fucking. The song's heavy as shit. It's got a killer fucking rhythm to it, heavy as fuck.
Rammstein.
Dude, they come out all affluent rich men pull up in these cars and they all get out and it's all them wearing big ass fat suits, man, and they grab their instruments all slow like they can't fucking hardly move, dude, and that shit starts and then it's fucking, they just go off in these fat suits. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. They got some of the best videos I've ever seen, man. I'm not kidding.
Metal mentions.
Yeah, dude, no bullshit. That fucking America song, I thought you'd like that shit. It'd be funny as hell when he's, you know, you ever heard that shit? America?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna let you hear that mix. You'll like that shit because he's just like, it's them walking around there. We're all living in America. It's wonderful.
Those are my personal burgers. End of discussion. Who has personal burgers?
I got something for you guys.
What
you got?
Once, right?
What you got?
I wrestled a bear once, right?
Yeah, we love them.
Right.
Yeah.
Only once.
Well, I guess the singer and the guitarist left. I had no idea.
No way.
Yeah, they got
Balls.
they got a new group.
What are they called?
It's called
And where can I
Spirit
find
Box.
them?
Spirit Box.
Spirit Box.
What?
Please don't tell me they went religious. Like super religious, I guess. Like you can find.
Sounds like a bunch of religious strippers.
I don't
No,
think it's
Spirit
metal
I don't
though.
think it's religious.
Is it like electronica pop emo?
No, it's just like, I don't know.
Look it up.
I don't know how to describe it.
I don't think it's not metal.
Spirit Box. Is it worth a metal mention?
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
Find it on the page, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm gonna share it to the
Tomorrow,
page, goddammit.
part
Because
3.
I wrestled a bear once.
That shit's killer, man.
Tastes like fucking Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
dude.
bullshitting. After hearing that, I'm like, I like crazy, chaotic metal.
Oh yeah.
And shit's done changed. Like the game, that was almost my first taste of gentle. No? Maybe I'm crazy.
I wouldn't call them gent.
Not
They had
all
some
the
riffs
gentle.
and shit like that.
Not even a little bit.
They had
So,
gentle
like, I don't
riffs.
know, math metal.
Yeah, but see that argument to me, man. You just said you were like, I'll agree that it's metal. It's just not my type of metal. But you're gonna tell me that Devin Townsend sometimes ain't metal?
Without a doubt.
It's wrong. This is
I
wrong.
am. I'm fucking wrong. Vitamin Nick's wrong, and I'm not afraid to say it. But McGruff's got a problem with ever being wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying in that instance, like I feel like
I think sometimes Devin is not metal.
He even said today he doesn't even
Most
listen to
time.
metal anymore.
Most time. You guys
Yeah.
give him credit saying sometime. You know what I say? Strapping sometime. Other than that, you're glam.
I think we're getting away from the point that Devin Townsend's metal as fuck. Let's get back to Pop Evil. Pop Evil's not metal.
Thank you for liking our shit. Like, seriously, I'll give you that, Devin. But other than that, I didn't like it. I didn't like any of the shit. The shit that you pulled on Randy within the making of Ashes or New American Gospel. You know what you did. That's all I'm saying. You know what you did. You didn't want to take him serious, and like after me hearing Burn the Priest, I'd have took him serious. Like, look, they got potential.
I don't like that Burn the Priest record. Not a fan of it.
I don't know, man.
Oshiria.
Everything that Devin Townsend has made makes everything Lamb of God look like garbage.
Get the fuck off this fucking call right here.
I don't think, if I had to pick one to listen to forever, it's going to be Devin Townsend. I love Lamb of God, but I'm not going to try and, I don't know.
Do you realize how many fucking excellent albums Lamb of God has? How many excellent albums did Devin have? Like 3, 4? All right, Lamb of God
You must
has
be talking about
8.
a different Devin Townsend. You know another Devin Townsend?
No, I just know that bald fucker that, like, all right, he's got potential and shit, but like I didn't really feel his music. I felt Strapping Young Lad, but that's not the Devin Townsend project, brother. Lamb of God is Lamb of God. I'm not trying to add in Burn the Priest. I'm not trying to add in even.
You got to get happy with your metal.
You gotta get happy with your
You
metal.
got to get happy with your metal. Quit
Happy
being so
metal.
angry and listen to some Devin Townsend.
No, if I get angry, I listen to that Attila Call Out too. Have you heard
Oh,
that?
you know what you do need to listen to?
What's that?
Here's my metal mention for the week, I suppose. Forgot about this band. Who are they opening up for? Who is that? They are going to be with Thy Art is Murder.
Yeah?
And what's the other band?
Dying
Fetus.
Yeah.
They're coming to town, and I went and checked out the other opening acts. And there's a band called Rivers of, how do you say that? Nile? Nil? Nihil? How do you say that? Nihil? Rivers of Nihil, maybe?
Yeah, Rivers. I think it's Rivers of Nil, but I know what you're talking about. I haven't heard them.
Get your thoughts together and come back to us, because I don't think you knew what you were talking about when you first said some shit.
No, I just think he
I
wasn't
don't know
sure
how
of
to
the
say
name.
it.
You gotta urinate right quick.
I'm not French, or whatever they are.
Repeat and contrast.
All right, go ahead. So Rivers of Nil, they're opening for Dying Fetus and Thy Art is Murder.
Yeah, you need to check out that Rivers of Nil. They got a song called The Silent Life.
All right.
And there is a saxophone solo in that song. I'm not even kidding. It is incredible.
I'm cool with it, man, because I like shit like that. Like, I'm a big fan of like that avant-garde sound, so I'll definitely be
I
listening.
didn't know I liked the saxophone until then. Shit's metal as fuck.
I played the trumpet growing up. I definitely like that, like, classical instrument sound.
I always thought you played the old skin flute.
Yeah. I'm sure you did. Well, we'll see if you make it
I don't
to
have
Slayer.
excuses, so I might end up going.
You don't have what now?
I don't have excuses, so...
No, I flat out didn't have the money. I flat out had the money. I could have went to Born of Osiris. The reason I'm ceding this challenge to you and not making excuses is because the option to see them or Necrogoblicon came, and I could afford one, and I chose right. I'm sorry, Rings of Saturn Necrogoblicon holds a higher regard to me, dude. When you gonna get
Born of Osiris and August Burns Red?
Born of Osiris have been around twice in the past year. Necrogoblecon's been around
I
never.
don't disagree with this.
Huh?
But now you gotta buy a pork chop.
No, I know I got to get smacked in the face with a pork chop.
I'll cook the pork chop.
It's gonna
and
be
shit
greasy.
but nonetheless, like, I don't know.
Did we even mention cooking it?
I'll cook the pork chop, take a picture of it while cooking, and then McGruff smack.
I'm gonna get smacked with a pork chop, man.
That happens. Shit
Was
like
this
that.
the first time you got smacked in the face by me?
Yeah.
It's not gonna go in the trash though. Somebody's gonna eat it and shit. So like nonetheless, like.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the meat in the face and then I'm gonna eat the meat. I'm gonna shove it right in my mouth. Put all the meat right in my mouth. Grease.
I don't want it.
speaking of like going out of business and fading and different random shit like that.
Right on.
Gibson guitars.
What?
They're not going out of business yet, but they're very, very, very close to going out of business. All the CFOs are jumping ship. Not the CEOs, but the CFOs are jumping ship. They've been around since 1948, but it was an article published
Big
this
name.
week by the Nashville Times saying that Gibson guitars were they're going in on selling out.
Right.
Oh, man.
We're gonna
Somebody
come back
even
to
quoted
that.
it saying that it was the death of the electric guitar.
No way. There's too many different electric guitar companies and shit now. 'Cause
That's a big
LTD
one, though, man. She's right. Gibson's a huge one.
Without a doubt. But
Yeah.
I think John Paul Reed Smith or whatever, the dude that I can't remember.
Half
No,
the bands I've
no.
been
Let me rephrase that. Not if Gibson goes down, it'll be the death of the electric guitar. But this era of this modern age is the death of the electric guitar, and Gibson is its first victim. Like just this new age, this new era of people. Like it's slowly starting to kill the electric guitar. Like people aren't picking it up the way
As
they
a
used
man
to.
that plays a generic Stratocaster, we're going to come back to this. I don't think that's going to kill it. I think that's one thing, and then they're going to come back in about 7 years when somebody else buys the whole fucking patent thing on how they made their guitars and shit, and then start re-releasing old
see, I hope
guitars.
not,
they
man.
used
Did you
to.
just say Infant Annihilator a minute ago, McGrath?
I did. I said Infinite Annihilator.
I was listening to them earlier, and they're I like to look at their album artwork a lot because I listen to a lot of my music, especially new music that I'm checking out on YouTube. And when you listen to it on YouTube, it either plays the lyrical version or the official music video.
Yeah.
When I'm listening to a song for the first time, I like to play the lyrical version that just posts the album artwork because
Gotcha.
I don't want to be distracted by the music video. I just want to take in the music and the lyrics. So I like to
I'm the
listen
same way.
to the lyrical version where it either actually has the lyrics posted on it or it has the album artwork. For the Infant Annihilator, Behold the Kingdom of the Wretched Undying, it had the artwork for the Elysian Grandival gallery art.
Yeah, I got it right here.
And it's wicked, but it got me thinking, do you think that metal bands pick fancy names on purpose? Do they go out of their way to be like, let's name this album the Elysian Grand Evil Gallery Art? Like, why would you, what, really? And it's not just one band, it's a lot of fucking bands. It's it's two things that you can find in a metal band, like a stereotypical metal band, not to say that I'm making fun of them, but you have that font, the generic metal font that's all rugged and almost Halloween-y type and really hard to read. And then you have that second thing that's a quality in metal is that very complex, almost sexy, complex name. Whether it's the band name itself or the blah blah blah.
I think
project,
a lot of them,
or some, you know what I'm saying.
That's actually a really good question.
And I find you don't find it in rap, you don't find it in pop, you don't find it in any of that shit. But it's in metal, and it's all
very
these
true.
complex fucking names that you've never heard of. You wonder if it's ever real.
I've often wondered if artists named the album based off a concept or a story or some kind of lyrical content, or if it's just something they thought sounded really cool.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're on Google let's find a thesaurus with the craziest words, but I feel like a lot of them really reach for a really fucking complex names to. And I'm not sure if they do it for marketing. Do they do it to really grab people's attention? Are the really, really intelligent songwriters the ones that are writing metal? There's got to be something with this because there's a pattern. It's a big fucking pattern, and I want to know the algorithm behind the pattern.
The question she asked is, here's the one of the albums for Infant Annihilator. She brought that up specifically because I mentioned it. It's called the Elysian Grandival Gallery Arc. Her question was, do these metal bands come up with these intense album names because it sounds cool or because there's an actual concept behind it? And I've often wondered that myself.
Not saying that there's not.
I'm often wondered that myself, like, because we listen to bands where, like, sometimes the album will have a theme and the lyrics and content will follow that theme.
Right.
But some of the times I feel with, like, some of these artists, they'll have, like,
Ota Una.
yeah, like, what is that? Maybe that's part of us being non-judgmental. We got to dig deeper into it, But, like, that's a good question. I've often wondered that myself.
Common.
It's
with
very
metal
common.
albums or metal band names that it's like complex, something like the Elysian blah blah blah, or the Acacia strain, like
That's
it
their
gets
name,
you thinking, what the fuck is an Acacia strain? You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
Man, this has been Non-Judgemetal 33. We thank you for joining us. Check us out. Give our Facebook page a like if you wouldn't mind there. We got videos on YouTube. You can find us on CastBox. Big fan of them. Where else, man? You got this new one you were talking about. Tell us a little bit about it.
Spare Minute. That's
Spare
where
Minute.
it's Spare M-I-N.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing that's what they're trying to
Yeah,
say.
Spare
Spare
Man.
Man, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a great app. Like it's. You can do the phone calls and whatnot. If you wanted to call the show, I wish I would have wrote down our PIN number. But if they hit like call now, and I'm available on the show or whatever, which I don't know really what times we're going to put it up there, but there's going to be a PIN number.
We'll
that
post
you
it on the
can find
Facebook page for sure.
Right, but you can actually call in, and it's going to automatically equalize the levels of the call.
Cool.
And then give you the footage of it, and then you can turn that into a little video or a straight-up podcast if the story's good enough. So,
Well, it sounds like a good time, man. So definitely check us out. Spare Men, CastBox, Facebook, Instagram. Well, I mean, we're a little bit everywhere. So hit us up.
Tumblr and YouTube.
Yep, absolutely. And,
Spreaker.
Non-Judgemetal 33, and we'll see you next time.
Definitely.
Yo, buckle up, motherfuckers! No one's safe! This is Call Out 2, bitch! Let's go! Fuck a stupid racist! Fuck a terrorist! Fuck a politician, they can suck my fucking dick! Fuck a Buddy Nielsen! Fuck a stupid coward! Fuck a Jeffree Star lipstick on this big dick! Fuck a record label! Fuck this industry! Fuck a handout, bitch! Nothing is for free! Fuck a Danny Warstop! Fuck a Dennis Goff! Fuck a Benatilla's like we're the fucking shit! I don't fuck with anyone! And fuck you too, bitch! Said I wouldn't do shit! Now I'm fucking rich, bitch! Fuck a Logan Paul! Fuck a Rice Gum! Fuck a Bad Baby, these hoes ain't shit! Fuck a Harvey Weinstein! Fuck a fucking rapist! Fuck a Offset, homophobic little bitch! Fuck a stupid Grammy! Fuck a radio! Fuck a Martin Shkreli!
Yo, seriously, that dude raised the price of a life-saving drug by 5,000% so people could fucking die.
Fuck a damn religion! Fuck a Westboro Baptist! Fuck a Steve Ray!
R.I.P. Steve Irwin.
I don't fuck with anyone! And fuck you too, bitch! Said I wouldn't do shit! Now I'm fucking rich, bitch! Fuck a Tim Lambesis! Fuck the Bandamir! Fuck Conor McGregor, this the money team, bitch! Fuck a Kardashian! Fuck a Ronda Rousey! Fuck a Tom Brady!
Crunk, you're fucking sick, though.
Fuck a Tyler Carter! Fuck a 6ix9ine! Fuck a pineapple on my goddamn pizza! Fuck a 9 to 5! Fuck this stupid song! Fuck wearing a condom, bitch! Pull out game strong!
Woo!